The story opens with a series of blurred space images, including a meteor moving toward Earth. The scene then shifts to a hiker exploring the woods. He finds an abandoned tent, and a little further ahead, he discovers a man tied to a tree with a strange blue liquid dripping from his mouth. The hiker tries to help him, but the film doesn't show what happens next. The timeline then jumps 4 days back. We meet Melissa, a forest ranger who has volunteered for lookout tower duty and seems excited about the job. While traveling to the tower, she receives messages from someone named Jake. It becomes clear they recently argued, and Melissa took this assignment to distance herself and cool off. While driving, Melissa checks her phone for a moment and loses focus. Suddenly, a man appears in front of her car. She brakes hard and steps out, but no one is visible. Then the man approaches from behind. He is a hunter named Skeeter. Melissa panics, thinking she might have hit someone. She tries talking to him, but he refuses to speak because Dale had told him not to. Melissa asks who Dale is, and just then, Dale and another hunter arrive. All three are armed. Melissa reminds them it's not hunting season. Dale says they aren't hunting animals, and the weapons are only for protection. His rude tone worries her, especially when he mentions sick people in the forest. Wanting to avoid conflict, Melissa leaves. She reaches a gate, and her car radio fills with static. As she turns to close the gate, Dale and his men drive up fast, trying to scare her. Melissa quickly shuts the gate and drives away. They leave afterward, clearly just trying to intimidate her. Soon, she arrives at the lookout tower. A ranger named Billy is finishing his 1-month shift and is irritated because Melissa is late. He explains the basic rules and warns that staying alone for a month can affect the mind, so she should keep herself busy. His attitude is negative, but Melissa seems genuinely happy to be there, hoping for a peaceful month. After Billy leaves, Melissa enters the tower, sets her things down, takes photos, enjoys the view, and gets ready to report. The radio has no power because Billy didn't charge it, so she starts the generator. She checks in late, and Captain Edgewood scolds her on her first day. Melissa apologizes and promises to stay on time. During the call, a bird crashes into the window and dies, frightening her. She later disposes of it, then meditates and spends some quiet time. In the evening, she talks with Roy on a private channel. She instantly gets along with him. Roy says he extended his shift, and before him, Billy was posted here, but never talked, which is why Melissa feels more comfortable with Roy. He asks why she took this duty, whether she's avoiding something or searching for something, but she doesn't respond. That night, a meteor falls into the forest while she sleeps, unseen. Next morning, Melissa goes downstairs to shower, but suddenly feels someone nearby. Startled, she wraps a towel around herself and hurries back up to the tower. Dale's partner, Skeeter, was secretly watching the area, but Melissa never sees him. She checks the surroundings with binoculars, finds nothing, and assumes it was just suspicion. Melissa sets up the solar panel, turns on the radio, and reports to the station on time. With hours left before the next report, she climbs down the tower to explore, even though she is not permitted to do so. She finds beer cans and bear trap that she carefully shuts with a stick, and a torn piece of clothing stained with blue liquid. Nearby, she discovers an empty campsite with a radio playing static. While inspecting the camp, a terrified woman suddenly appears, repeatedly saying she doesn't have it. Melissa notices the woman's feet are badly burned. She calms her down and learns her name is Miss Conley. Inside Conley's tent, it looks like the meteor from the previous night landed there. Melissa brings Conley toward the tower and contacts the station, saying the woman needs immediate medical help. In the rush, the solar panel falls and breaks. Miss Conley keeps staring into the forest and gives no response when Melissa asks if she saw anything. Captain Edgewood arrives with several rangers, and the woman is taken away in a vehicle. Before leaving, he angrily scolds Melissa, reminding her that her only duty is to stay in the tower and watch for forest fires. Despite helping an injured woman, Melissa receives no praise. She is told to act like an adult, repair the solar panel, and report on time. Melissa stays quiet. The damaged solar panel cannot be fixed easily, and the incident leaves her unsettled. She calms herself by meditating and later falls asleep. Her next report is slightly late, but another officer is on duty instead of the captain and ignores the delay. Later, Melissa goes down and finds a pouch on the ground, likely belonging to Miss Conley. Inside are strange, colorful stones. She checks them briefly, but does not see them as important. In the evening, Melissa speaks with Roy, who praises her for helping the woman. This makes her feel appreciated for the first time, and their friendship grows stronger. A storm is expected that night, and it is also shown that Skeeter is digging in the forest and collecting similar stones. As the storm worsens, the power goes out. Melissa tries to sleep with music, but her phone has no charge. She then notices activity on the radio despite the outage. Thinking it might be Roy, she moves closer, but the radio goes silent. When she steps away, it turns on again, and an angry male voice says, "It's mine," before the radio shuts off once more. The radio message leaves Melissa shaken and confused. The next morning, she follows her routine, but her thoughts stay fixed on the night before. Sensing that something strange is happening nearby, she decides to check the forest herself. She packs essential supplies and takes bear spray. Despite the captain's warning, she heads out again after filing her report. Melissa returns to the burned tent site, takes photos, and notices a deep hole in the ground, likely caused by the meteor. A hiker appears, surprised by what he sees. He says he is camping nearby and worries it could be an animal attack. Melissa admits she is unsure, but says it does not seem like an animal did this. When she asks if he noticed anything unusual the previous night, he says only the storm felt strange. He leaves soon after. His name is Ethan, who was seen earlier in the film. Melissa also takes his photo and notices his cautious behavior. That night, Melissa talks with Roy again. He repeats his question about what she might be running from. She hesitates, so Roy shares his own story about his wife, a psychologist, who shaped the way he thinks. This encourages Melissa to open up. She admits she came here to escape herself, feeling worn out by life and hoping to rediscover herself and her passion. Later, Melissa reviews her photos, still focused on the hole near the tent. The next morning, her fourth day in the forest begins. After reporting in, she heads out again. Strange sounds suddenly echo around her, and she panics and runs. Her leg gets caught in a bear trap, leaving her in severe pain and unable to free herself. Hearing someone approach, she becomes even more frightened, but it turns out to be Ethan. He quickly helps her and releases her leg from the trap. Melissa's leg is injured, making it hard for her to walk. Ethan offers to help her reach the lookout tower, which shocks Melissa because she never told him about it. Ethan claims she mentioned it the day before, but Melissa clearly remembers she did not. He then says he must have guessed, and Melissa realizes something is off. She refuses his help and says she will go back on her own. Ethan keeps insisting, so Melissa uses bear spray on him. Surprisingly, it has no effect. Shocked, she hears Ethan say that she has something he wants and tells her to come with him. At that moment, Dale and his partner arrive and try to scare Ethan with a crossbow. Ethan recognizes them, hinting they have met before. Dale takes Melissa away while his partner tries to stop Ethan. He fires an arrow, but Ethan easily avoids it and then ends his life by choking him with one hand, revealing he is not a normal human. From the man's pocket, Ethan finds a bracelet with a green stone, which clearly pleases him. After taking the bracelet, Ethan chases Melissa and Dale again. They try to escape by car, but Ethan stops it effortlessly. Dale tries to speed away, but it fails, confirming Ethan's inhuman strength. Melissa raises the crossbow at him, and Ethan finally lets them go, warning that they will meet again. As they drive on, Dale reminds Melissa that he warned her about strange people in the forest. When she asks what Ethan is, Dale calls him a devil. Melissa asks about Skeeter, but Dale avoids answering and stops at the same place where Skeeter was tied earlier. The scene shown at the start of the film. It becomes clear that Dale and his men already knew about Ethan and came prepared to hunt him. Skeeter was watching Melissa only to protect her. When Dale gets out of the car to free Skeeter, Melissa spots Ethan approaching and honks to warn him. Ethan reaches the vehicle and rips the door open, but before he can reach Melissa, Dale attacks him. During the struggle, Dale pulls off Ethan's bracelet and throws it away. Ethan panics and runs after it, revealing the green stone is the source of his power. Dale tries to stop him, knowing this, but Ethan uses Dale's own knife to end his life. Melissa hides in a nearby camp. Ethan knows she is there, but she escapes from the back just in time. Ethan notices her, but Skeeter appears and tells him to let her go. Skeeter's face is stained with a strange blue liquid. When he asks what Ethan did to him, Ethan says he gave him a gift, hinting at power linked to the blue substance. Skeeter fires an arrow, but Ethan catches it mid-air and then uses it to end Skeeter's life. Melissa sees everything and is terrified. As she turns to run, Ethan suddenly stands behind her and says she is making things difficult. He tells her that if she gives him what he wants, it will all end. Basically, he wanted the stones he had found outside the tower. Those stones were the source of Ethan's powers, and it's obvious that an alien entity had taken over Ethan's body. What doesn't make sense to me is why he needed Melissa, since he already knew the stones were at the tower. Ethan grabs Melissa by the hair, but she strikes his hand with a stone, causing his strange stone to fall. She then hits his head with the same stone, badly injuring him. Blue liquid begins to flow from his head as he screams in pain and grows weaker. Taking advantage of this, Melissa runs toward the lookout tower. Without the stone, Ethan is clearly losing strength. At the tower, Melissa hides the stone in a bucket and waits with an axe, trying to stay calm. A ranger suddenly arrives, and Melissa angrily asks who he is. He introduces himself as Roy, which briefly relieves her. However, Ethan appears and throws Roy to the ground. Their radio bond makes this moment especially shocking. Ethan desperately searches for his stone. Melissa cleverly throws fake stones down, and Ethan follows them, thinking they are real. Melissa goes after him with the axe, but first checks on Roy, who is seriously injured. Crying, she apologizes to him. When Ethan realizes the stones are fake, he angrily demands the real ones from Melissa. It becomes clear that without the stones, he is very weak. Melissa strikes Ethan's shoulder with the axe, knocking him down. She thinks it is over, but a dark liquid comes out of Ethan's mouth. This is the real alien entity, which then enters Roy's body. Roy begins chasing Melissa, but the alien soon leaves his body because it is already badly damaged. Roy is still alive, and Melissa feels relieved when she sees him breathing. The scene then shifts. Melissa reports the entire incident over the radio. Soon after, Captain Edgewood arrives with Billy. Melissa sits quietly on the stairs, while Ethan has now passed away. Seeing her condition, the captain does not ask any questions, gently places her into the vehicle, and says he will handle the rest. During this time, Billy finds the same dark substance on the ground and touches it. Captain Edgewood tells Billy that until a new ranger is assigned, he will be responsible for duty at the lookout tower. The captain then leaves with Melissa. As soon as they are gone, Billy takes the stone out of the bucket. Black liquid begins to flow from his nose, showing that the alien has found a new host. Billy has now become the alien's next victim. This is where the film ends. Overall, the movie feels like a straightforward sci-fi alien story. While it has an interesting setup and some tense moments, there are clear plot gaps and several scenes that lack strong logic. The alien's true purpose is never fully explained, which leaves important questions unanswered. Because of this, the film works more as a simple survival thriller than a deeply thought-out science fiction story.